Okay, third grade. So we are going to be doing some problem solving today, just like we did last week, using our grams and our kilograms and our weights that we've been working with, and even milliliters and liters. So let's take a look at our first problem. Our series of steps that we do does not change just because we're dealing with weights. It stays the same. So a mouse weighs 34 grams. A hamster weighs 126 grams more than the mouse. How much does the hamster weigh? I'm going to go back and I'm going to reread it. And this time I'm going to look for what do I already know. A mouse weighs 34 grams. A hamster weighs 126 grams more than the mouse. How much does the hamster weigh? Well, I know how much the mouse weighs. Mouse weighs 34 grams. And I know that the hamster weighs 126 grams more. Okay? How much does the hamster weigh? I'm going to reread it, and now I'm going to ask myself, what are they asking me? What do I need to figure out? A mouse weighs 34 grams. A hamster weighs 126 grams more than the mouse. How much does the hamster weigh? Oh, well, there's the sentence with the question mark, so that must be what they're asking me. How much does the hamster weigh? So now I'm going to start with what do I know? I'm going to take a look at the information that I have. So I know a mouse weighs 34 grams. And I know that the hamster weighs 126 grams more. So it weighs 126 grams more than this. I think I'm going to be adding here. Okay? This is nothing different, right? So when I add, I'm going to be able to figure out what it weighs. So I can look at this a couple different ways, okay? Remember, I'm giving you tools that you can choose to use. You don't have to solve it this way, but it's an option. I could say, if I look at that 34, I could break it into 30 and 4 plus 126. So I could look at it just like this. Well, I know if I look at 126 plus 4, well, that's going to equal 127, 128, 129, 130. And then I'm taking 130 plus 30. 130 plus 30, well, that's going to be 30 plus 30 is 60. With that 1, that's going to be 160 grams. I could also, though, if you don't feel comfortable doing it this way, you don't have to. You can choose instead to add it like this. So let me put a box around this way. Okay? I could add it vertically if you feel more comfortable doing it that way. 6 plus 6 is 12. So I write my 2, and I'm going to carry this one to add on. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. Oops, I wrote the wrong numbers. 34, not 36. That's going to change everything, boys and girls. Let's try that again. See, it's important to write down the right numbers. 6 plus 4 is 10, so I write my 0, carry my 1 to add on. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. 1 plus 0 is 1, and I get the same answer either way that I do it. And then, because we're weighing things, because we're measuring things, we have to put the label. And the label that I'm going to put here is going to be grams. Okay, let's take a look at another problem following the same process. So we've got Rob's Creative Tools weighs 12 kilograms. He takes out his power tools. Now the crate weighs 4 kilograms. How many kilograms do the power tools weigh? I'm going to go back and reread it, this time looking for what do I already know. Rob's Creative Tools weighs 12 kilograms. He takes out his power tools. Now the crate weighs 4 kilograms. How many kilograms do the power tools weigh? Well, if I look at this information, remember, I only want to focus on the most important things. I don't care who the problem's about. I don't care all the extra stuff. What I want to know is that his crate weighs 12 kilograms. Okay, that's important. I don't care that he took out his power tools, but I guess I do, but not a lot. But I do care that now the crate weighs 4 kilograms when he took out his power tools, okay? So the Creative Tools weighs 12 kilograms. He takes out his power tools. The crate weighs 4 kilograms. Now I'm going to reread it looking for what do I need to figure out. Rob's Creative Tools weighs 12 kilograms. He takes out his power tools. Now the crate weighs 4 kilograms. How many kilograms do the power tools weigh? If I look, I always want to see if there's a sentence with a question mark. So that's usually going to be what I need to do. And if I look very carefully, I can see that I've got a question mark right there. How many kilograms do the power tools weigh? That's what they're asking me to figure out. So if we look here, I know that how much his crate started at. His crate started at 12 kilograms. That's the total weight. Okay. So I drew this one out because I think this one will be easy to see. I know that when he's got all of his stuff, when he takes his power tools out, it's got 4 kilograms. I need to know how much those power tools weigh. Well, if I take the whole and I take off that part that I know, I bet I can figure out how much this power tools weigh. So if I take 12, take off that 4 kilograms that's left over, well, 12 minus 4 is going to be 8 kilograms. Okay, let's take a look at another example of a problem. A pitcher of shaved ice needs 5 milliliters of food coloring to turn red. How many milliliters of food coloring are needed to make 9 pitchers? So let's go back and let's look for what do we already know. A pitcher of shaved ice needs 5 milliliters of food coloring to turn red. How many milliliters of food coloring are needed to make 9 pitchers? So I know that one pitcher, so a pitcher needs 5 milliliters, okay? I don't care what it is, but I know that whatever it is, the pitcher needs 5 milliliters. Now, if I look, they're asking me about 9 pitchers, okay? I'm going to go back and I'm going to reread it looking for what are they asking me. A pitcher of shaved ice needs 5 milliliters of food coloring to turn red. How many milliliters of food coloring are needed to make 9 pitchers? I see that there's a sentence with a question mark, so that's usually a pretty good idea that that's the sentence that's asking you something. So, they're asking me how many milliliters of food coloring are needed to make 9 pitchers. So I know what a pitcher or one pitcher needs. It needs 5 milliliters. I need to know about 9. So I drew a tape diagram with 8 spots in it, and I know that each one of these spots is going to need 5 ml. Okay? So I'm going to model this 2 ways. I'm going to model it with the drawing, with the tape diagram, and then I'm going to write an equation. So if I look here to figure out the total amount of milliliters that's needed, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups of 5. I'm going to count by 5s 9 times. That's the same thing as doing 9 times 5. So I count, you ready? I put my 9 fingers and I count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. How many milliliters are needed? 45. And again, because we are measuring liquid here, I need to make sure I put my label. So I look and I see what label they used in the problem, and they use milliliters. Okay, we're going to take a look at one last example and one last problem we're going to do together. So at the pet shop, there are 36 liters of water in a tank. Each fishbowl holds 4 liters. How many fishbowls can they fill with the water? Let's go back and let's look for that most important information, the stuff I have to solve the problem. At the pet shop, there are 36 liters of water in a tank. Each fishbowl holds 4 liters. How many fishbowls can they fill with the water? So I know if I'm looking here, I know there are 36 liters of water in a tank. Okay. I know that each fishbowl can hold 4 liters. So I'm going to put that the bowl holds 4 liters. Okay. Now I'm going to go back and reread it looking for that question or what are they asking me, the sentence with the question mark on it. At the pet shop, there are 36 liters of water in a tank. Each fishbowl holds 4 liters. How many fishbowls can they fill with the water? So if I look here, the sentence with the question mark says, how many fishbowls can they fill with the water? So I know my total amount of water I have. I'm going to draw this out, I think. So I know I've got a total of 36 liters. Okay. And I know that each of the bowls holds 4 liters. What I don't know is how many bowls I'm going to have. So I know the size of my groups, which is 4. I just don't know how many groups I'm going to get of 4 to get to 36. This is sounding a lot and looking a lot like a division problem. It's almost like I'm trying to do 36 divided by 4 equals, well, we're not sure. How many times am I going to have to count by 4s to get to 36? Let's try it. I could draw it out. I could draw out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But I think we're going to count it out this time. So let's count by 4s until we get to 36. So we say 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. How many times did I count by 4, third grade? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So that tells me that they're going to have 9 bowls they can fill. Now this one, I'm still going to put a label, but I'm not going to put liters because I'm not asking anything about how much water they can use. They're asking me about the number of bowls they can use. So my label is actually going to be bowls. So you're going to have to read your problems very carefully to know what your label is going to be. There are some pages listed that we want you to practice problem solving. It could use any of your operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, to solve these problems. And then there's an assignment for you to complete either using DocHub or by completing it in your book and taking a picture and uploading it. And as always, if you have questions, make sure you reach out to Mr. Rusherai.